Okay.
Hey guys, Julie here again, and we are letting it all hang out, episode number 33, and we're totally excited about this one. This is actually one of our favorite topics to talk about, and we could probably talk about it all day, but we're going to try to limit it to about 45 minutes to an hour. But today we're going to be talking about why it's so beneficial to have an online business. Regardless of how much work it takes and how many struggles some people go through, the benefits completely outweigh those struggles and risks. So we're going to talk about that today, and that's something that's really near and dear to all of our hearts. So I think we're going to be passionate and have some great insight for you. Let me start by introducing. I'm sorry? And we are letting it all hang out, episode number 33, and we're totally excited about this one. This is actually one of our favorite topics to talk about. We'll probably talk about it all. We're going to try to limit it to about 45 minutes to an hour. But today we're going to be talking about why it's so beneficial to have an online business. Anyone? Bueller?
Wait, I think it was me. Just bear with me a second.
All right, so it's done now?
I
can back up, Julie.
Okay. I love to hear myself over myself.
You just had your own voiceover over yourself.
Sandra Lemming from Down Under, how are you doing today?
I'm really good, thanks, Yuli. I'm really excited to be talking about this topic. I mean, I tend to get a little bit passionate and get up on a soapbox, so if I start ranting, just slap me off and let somebody else have a turn.
No, I think that's great. I think that's exactly what our expectations are, and I think that's what we're here to deliver, is that passion, because most of us are extremely passionate about our businesses, and that's what drives us. So I think that's great, and we'll, if you see me hit mute, you'll know why. But I doubt that's going to happen. Leslie Lawler, how are you? Lawler, how are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Thanks very much for inviting me again on here. Yeah, absolutely great topic today, and I agree with you. I think it's going to be difficult to get everybody off today. I think you might need the mute button quite a lot today.
Well, I mean, that's off to a good start, because obviously, if everyone has a lot to talk about in this, and we don't talk about it very often. A lot of times we talk about so many other things that involve the home business industry and the online industry, but I think this is a great topic for, especially time of year where it's summer, other than for Sandra. A lot of people want to be with their families and stuff, and they miss out because of work or their JOB. So. Continuing on, Miss Jill Humphreys, how are you today?
I'm really good, and this is episode 33 about living free. I love it. It's going to be really exciting tonight, and yes, you're going to have to use that mute button quite a bit, I think.
Awesome, I'm excited. And Mr. Jay Williams, how are you today?
Hi, Yuli, how you doing?
I'm good. Roll up them sleeves, man. Get them suns out, guns out, bro.
No, it's just a small boy's t-shirt.
It's a hand-me-down. It just keeps rolling up. You keep shrinking.
Unlike everybody else, you constantly have to use the mute button for me because I can't stop talking. So, it's not just this hangout.
Yeah, I thought that this would be a good topic, and we couldn't have a better panel to express that passion as we do now. We're short a couple guys today, a couple people today. I know they're working on a couple other things, and Scott Taylor McCormick, who is part of this as well, is unfortunately got stuck behind a project helping on a client, and I guess clients come first, so which is good. So back to preface what we're doing again, to kind of put it in frame, we're going to be talking about, the why is very personal for everybody else. Why you start your own business, why you decided to start your own business, or why you're thinking about starting your own business, can be very personal, and that's for you to decide, and that's for you to kind of get the grasp of, or get the idea of, and that's what's going to drive you forward. But the actual benefits, and we're going to talk a little bit about the why. I don't want to get too personal with everybody's whys, but we want to talk about why the why is important, why that's important, and then we also want to talk about the benefits and everything we get from having our own online business, whether you're full-time or part-time or just starting or you're a seasoned vet. It's an incredible opportunity for you to, like Jill said, step into freedom. So I'm going to hand this off to, actually, you know what? I'm going to hand this off to Sandra, because I know she was on a roll before we started, and I want to keep those juices flowing.
Thanks, Julie. Yes, the reason why you need to have a why to get started in this business is because that why that you've got, the why that you have as to why you would get online and start a business is what's going to motivate you. That's gonna fuel your fire. That's going to give you the drive. That's going to be that little conscience sitting inside your head and saying, you can do this. You know why you're doing this. This is why you're doing this. Keep going. Keep going. Keep doing it. Don't worry about what you're hearing outside. Just keep focused and keep going. Sort of like an athlete, who get into the zone when they're preparing for their Olympic Games and their meets where they need to get their good times. They have a specific why, and they focus and zone in on that why, and that's all that matters to them. Nothing else around them really matters. So you've got to have a why to do this sort of this business. But the benefits of having a digital business and a digital life far outweigh having a brick and mortar business. I mean, it's really great. This digital business, I could unplug this laptop and I could walk outside right now if it wasn't so cold, so I'm not going to go out there. My business online, having a digital business, is virtually mobile. It is mobile. As long as I have an internet connection, a tablet or a laptop or a computer or access to one with the internet, I have my business. I can check in on my business anytime I like. If I had gone and got a brick and mortar business with a shop or an office or something else, I do not want to even imagine how hard it would be for me to physically pick that up and walk it down the street to the coffee shop, when I'm on a break. And I can access more like-minded people in a digital world because I have access to the whole world from a computer, from my business. So I can connect with guys like Yuli and James and Jill Humphreys and Jade and Leslie, and and they don't even live down the road from me. Yet I feel like I pop in and have coffee with them every week, which is really, really cool.
Yeah. And I'm having coffee with you right now.
See, there you go.
Yeah. And on the other side of the globe.
Yep, on the other side of the globe, and it's great. And we can mastermind and we can support each other. And I was just saying to a friend of mine last night, who actually posted on his personal Facebook profile that he jumped in, he'd taken the dive, and he just decided to start his own business. He had his name for it, Sniper Communication. And he's pretty excited, and everyone's congratulating him and stuff like that. And like I said to him, I said, welcome. To the world of small business, and happy to mastermind with you. And it's important for small business people and like-minded people to collaborate and get together. It's more beneficial, and it helps you stay in business and stay passionate about what you're doing. And he was pretty excited about that because I extended my knowledge to him of being online and running an online business. I extended some assistance and my knowledge to assist him get started in his startup when he thought he was going to have to do it all on his own. So, he's pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for him. And that's why I love a digital business mainly, is because I can do it from home in my own home office. Of course, I get the benefits of the, tax rebates and stuff on, any payments I'm making in home on internet and stuff. So that's another great thing. I don't have to worry about leases in my overhead, in my cash flow trajectory. So I don't have to worry about, lease payments or maintenance to a building. I don't have to worry about any of that. I don't have to worry about shop front fitting or artists coming in to put my ads up or my signs up on the front of the shop. All of those expenses are out the door, so I didn't have to worry about working those into my business plan. And I have my family here. I can take time off whenever I like. I can contact people whenever I need, anywhere around the globe, 24/7, because the world doesn't run on the same clock. So I can stay motivated. I can stay excited, and it's wonderful. It's a great place to be. I mean, but you are running a business. Ultimately, you are running a business. You're just running a business that you can just fold up, put in a handbag, and off you go.
I like the handbag. I'm going to take my live in the handbag.
Handbag lifestyle. I like it.
And that's totally true, Stan. Every point you've made is completely valid. And you can just get up and go anywhere you want to go and work that business. But, the bottom line with that is that you do it's not just a hobby. Like you said, it's a business. You can't just wrap it up and then, you know, just go away for 2 months and not do anything about it, unless, of course, you can eventually do that once you get your systems in place. And that's the whole part of leveraging an online business, is being able to manage and leverage systems that do the work for you. But it does take work to get those systems in place, and a lot of training, and a lot of education, and a lot of investment. So it's not something that just happens. You do have to do some work to get there. James, I'm going to jump onto you because you seem to explain this very well in your videos and when you teach online, when you do your coaching. A lot of people don't see. I mean, they get what we're talking about. They understand that the laptop lifestyle, the digital entrepreneurship. In your words, you know, a lot of people can see a brick and mortar business. Like, all right, I own a shoe store. This is what I have. How can you, in your own words, explain the difference between having that and like having an online store or an online business? What, like, say, you know, explain affiliate marketing to some people who might not have a clue what that is.
So, I mean, Sandra hit the nail on the head as far as the differences are concerned. You can't take a big building with you to wherever you want around the world, but as you see Greg and Fiona all the time doing, here's my laptop, here's my business, I'm off to Boston, I'm off to the south of France, I'm going here, I'm going there, and they just carry their business wherever they want to go. And the joy of this laptop lifestyle, I'll first of all explain how I felt about it, and if I'm honest, I wasn't really sure I was in it for the laptop lifestyle at first, but what I've realized recently is that I can go anywhere, be anywhere, do what I want to do when I want to do it, and not have someone telling me I have to do something else. So for me, obviously, that in the military, that was the way it went. You'll go here, you'll go there, and now I'm going on holiday again next week, which is what, 3 times in 6 weeks, and I don't have to ask anybody. I just say, right, yeah, I'll go on holiday. I actually got asked to go to Portugal 2 weeks ago as well, and someone offered it me for free, but I couldn't because I had to go somewhere with my girlfriend. But that flexibility, that flexibility,
what a tough life.
just do what you want. And I said to my family the other day, I was sat there with them, and I said, you know what? I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life. I really am. And I said, it isn't about earning massive amounts of money. It isn't about being super successful in my business. I'm just happy in my life right now, and I don't think that would have happened if I was still in the military. And the other day, I didn't actually realize how unhappy I was until I left.
Yeah, until you realize how happy you are.
And so what this has done for me is amazing. It's made me realize what I was missing out on, for one, what is available to me in the big bad world outside of the military and outside of any job pretty much. And if you sit at home and just think, oh, I'm happy with my job, no, I'm not happy with my job, really. My boss is an arsehole. I hate working 70 hours a week. I hate getting up in the mornings. I hate being restricted to holidays. I hate having to ask for a holiday. I hate not being able to afford a holiday. All these sort of things. And then you go, oh, but I'll still do what I was doing before, and I'll just crack on doing what I was doing. And I don't know why I'm still doing it. But I'm going to keep doing it anyway. And so many people get stuck in that. And it's only
that hamster wheel.
Once you're outside of that you really realize the potential in all of this. And I know you asked me to explain affiliate marketing, but I just wanted to touch on what it can do for you and what it's done for me.
No, that's fine. I mean, what I really meant was what you just said. I mean, as far as affiliate marketing was, you kind of explained the whole aspect of the benefits of what you're doing and the difference between what you were doing and what you are doing. And not to mention, wasn't it you maybe a month or 2 ago that your parents said to you, when are you going to find a real job?
Yeah, they said to me, when are you going to find a real job?
Yeah. and look at you. I mean, that's the paradigm that we're all in. Is like the only way to make a living is to have a job, because we're just not aware of what's available to us. Like you said, you didn't know what was out there So.
And everybody doubts you every single day. My family doubt me every single day. But luckily for me, I have a really supportive girlfriend who's just believes in what I do. And I believe so much that I make her believe. And having that belief in what I'm doing, and that I just know I'll be successful, they think to myself, well, how can I not believe him? He's so convincing when he speaks. And everyone says, bloody hell, you know your stuff. Sounds good, doesn't it? And people who were complete skeptics when I started talking to them, when I share my passion and my love and my belief for what I do, they're like, wow, where do I sign up?
Yeah, you don't even have to sell them, and that's a great point. You don't even have to sell somebody on what you're doing. Your best sales pitch is be passionate, continue to do it well, and become successful, or at least start that train rolling in the right direction. And that's enough of a sales pitch for anybody.
I don't even try and sell to them, Yuli. I just say, they say, oh, you're mad for your whatever you do. What is it you do? And I said, it doesn't matter. I just love what I do, and I'm so happy about what I do all the time. And
you can't tell from your face, though. That's weird. You can't. There's no.
Couldn't tell it all.
Doesn't transfer over at all. I don't get it.
They just can't believe it. They're just like, how can you love it so much? I'm like, it's amazing, isn't it? It just is.
Yeah, because it's yours. It's not a job. It's yours. It's your dream, and you're building it. So
exactly.
That's awesome. So Jill, Jay brought up a great point when he said a lot of people just don't, and especially in his position, he said he didn't know what he didn't know. Like, he didn't know what was out there for him. Explain a little bit about how you got into this industry. What it's done for you in not a very long time. How long you've been in the industry? 24 months, maybe?
Yep, coming up, yep.
Yeah. So in 2 years, explain how you've gone from whatever you were doing to now being happy and doing what you're doing, and how you didn't know what was out there, but now you do, and now it's your obligation to let other people know that this is really out there. This is really possible.
Well, I think for me, I was a full-time carer for my dear mum, who passed away just under 2 years ago, and that was a full-time job. And when I came out of all that, I had no idea what I wanted to do, and yet I wanted somehow for a business or a job, I don't like that word, but a job, to fit around my lifestyle. In fact, because I was a single mum, I was looking after a young boy, my son, and I wanted the flexibility. And I kept hearing about these working from home opportunities, and I thought, oh my Lord, what are these all about? Perhaps I should look into one. And then I actually saw Stuart on Facebook, and the rest really is history. But in that, Stuart was telling a story, and he was telling the story with so much passion and so much empathy for others out there that are giving all their time for money and a paycheck that other people think you're worth. And I thought, that really resonates with me. I'd really like to work from home and have that flexibility and be my own boss. But I had no idea what internet marketing speak was, no idea what the language, anything like that made. I hadn't got a clue. I didn't understand any of it. But I just knew that Stuart's story never, ever changed. He may tweak it and add to it. But a lot of people will come through with loads of bullshit, and you'll hear one, and then you'll hear another, and then they'll add something else on. Every time I came back to Stuart, it was the core story. And that was, he was just fed up of giving all his time to somebody else. And he thought, to hell with it. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to learn how to do this myself. I'm going to leverage my time, and I'm going to have more than one paycheck per month. And that was like music to my ears. I thought, but the thing is, I had no idea how to do it. Because like you said, Julie, it's a paradigm shift. I was brought up in a family where my parents just work. Both owned their businesses. I was brought up by my grandparents because I didn't see my mum and dad that much. But that was normality. Oh, your parents have got a business? All right. So I guess you don't see them a lot. You used to get that a lot when I was a kid. I say, no, I don't see my mum and dad that much. Yeah. I might see my dad when he comes in at night. I saw my mum before I went to school, and when I came home I had things to do or whatever. And when I was really young, my mum was like full-time because she had a restaurant as well, so I didn't get to see her until really late at night, when perhaps she brought home a bag of chips for me and a dandelion burdock or something. It was really cool, and that was only on a Saturday I was allowed to stay up. But I wanted the flexibility. I also wanted to provide for my son. I was left a big house, big expenses, but I wanted to be able to put a business, which I'm a mindset coach, and I wanted to be able to put that through the internet. I wanted to learn all about marketing. I wanted to learn all about how I can raise my online real estate. I had no idea. So in that 24 months, I have just ate all the webinars, the teachings, the books, and everything else that actually goes within the SFM community. And the support in the community is just amazing as well. So that's where I am now. And if anybody's listening to this, that is a broad spectrum of, my background to coming into this. But literally, it is all about being reachable, teachable, coachable. You want to do something different, you have to do something different.
Somebody's echoing there. Yeah, maybe hit mute while we're not speaking. Maybe. Let's see. How's that? Well, Joe, you can unmute yourself because I think we're gonna. No, I wonder who that is. That's.
I think it was Jay washing up.
So is it gone?
No, it's still
I can't hear it.
Still there. Yeah, everyone's muted. Let's see if you can mute yourself real quick. See what happens.
Me.
Yeah, just check it out real quick. Hello. All right. So echo's gone. So Jill, you made a great point there. Now that you've left, I was gonna tell you about your great point. Your point was that you don't necessarily have to reinvent yourself either when you come into the digital world. Like you said, you were already a mindset coach. You were just looking for a way to take that experience, that knowledge, that passion and drive that you already had, that business that you already had, and bring it into the internet world, bring it onto the digital world. And you found that through Six Figure Mentors, Digital Experts Academy. You found that education there, and that's a big myth that a lot of people run into. It's like, well, I don't know anything about starting an online business. Where, in fact, you don't really, you can actually take the experiences that you already have and bring that online, because there are a lot of people that want to hear your message, whether you think so or not. You offer value. The technical world out there.
Sorry.
So explain that. How did you take from where you were as a mindset coach? What made you think that taking it online would make that much of a difference and benefit you more?
Well, basically, because Stuart was saying, your business is in this box. This laptop that I'm looking at now, you can actually run your business from your laptop. And that really got to me, because I thought, wow. So, because, I was looking for premises. I'm going to do something within my home. And, I suddenly realized that when all my coaches said, no, you can do everything on Skype. You can have international clients. That is no problem with the internet now. And I thought, right, well, I need to put a professional, front shop 24/7 out there that tells them exactly what I do. And I want to learn how to be the best I can be. So how do I put my best me forward? How do I attract the best customers? How can I get the top tier marketing? How can I learn how to brand myself properly? Because basically there's thousands of coaches out there. What makes me the difference? Well, what makes me the difference is the coaching that I'm having. And the purity of the facts that come through in this. They just cannot wait to tell you what the new thing is, or the new plugin perhaps that will help you, or the new platform that they're developing. I've built everything, thanks to Sandra, on the Digital Business Lounge, which they offer, which has just got absolutely everything you need. It's your one-stop shop for marketing your business. So regardless of what business you've got, you can get the best out of it by having the best tools, which are here with the Six Figure Mentors and Digital Experts Academy.
It's so true. It's so true. I had a point here. You had mentioned that, oh man, that Digital Experts Academy. I mean, I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back to me. It'll definitely come back to me. Leslie, you are, I would say, amongst the panel here, the newest to the internet world. Maybe you and James have started about the same time. Where do you think, from the time you started to where you are now, what have you gained from being on your own and having your own business and getting your own thing going? Oh, you're muted. Hold on. Let me see if I can unmute you here. How's that?
I think yeah. Well, I think we did it at the same time. Can you hear me?
Oh.
Well, it's where to start, really. We've learned so much. I mean, to be very honest, we didn't know anything at all. We didn't even have a clue what we were doing. Probably for the first 2 months, we didn't have a clue what we were doing. But there's so much support there. That's the nice part about it, is that if we didn't understand something, and James has helped us a lot with technical things that we needed, that we didn't understand. We'd try something, it didn't work. We'd obviously done something wrong, but we weren't sure how to put it right. But there's somebody there all the time trying to guide you and advise you. And it's funny, I was talking to my father about it today, and about being challenged. And this business makes you more aware of how you are being challenged, which I like being challenged. And I can't say I find, a lot of areas of this business, well, put it this way, it has been very challenging for me. But I like a challenge up to a certain point. I mean, and I will say that if I've had enough on the computer, I just walk away, and I go and get some fresh air and just get away from it. But the benefits, I mean, for ourselves, being able to work when you want, and obviously I'm a carer for my dad, and sometimes I can't always put everything down in the diary that I'd like to do at a certain time. It depends. And if my dad really wants to speak to me about anything, I stop what I'm doing and speak to him, because Dad's probably not got many years left. I'm going to have the conversations that I need to have with him, and that's the nice part about it, because if I was actually working, I'd be rushing around and getting the breakfast in the morning, rushing around, running out the house. I just want to have time to give to him, and at this moment in time, that's really, really important to me. So I can fit this in around my lifestyle. And yes, when I first saw this business opportunity, I really did want to make it in 3 months, and I was prepared to do everything. I was eating and sleeping it. But to be very fair, I couldn't keep that up. I just couldn't manage to do all the things that I needed to do. And then it's a very, very forgiving business as well, because it doesn't really matter. It is your business at the end of the day. It's not going to affect anybody else. It just affects me. If I can't do something, it's only going to affect me. But I just found that everybody's been so supportive, and people are always talking about time for yourself. And that, I've learned to do that without feeling guilty. Sometimes, I'm really tired and my brain just won't work. So I do just put my feet up and think, I'll watch this film with my dad. Cowboy film it might be, but it doesn't matter. But the nice part about it is that I can do that. That's the benefits of running your own business. And again, if we went away somewhere, which sometimes we go and stay at my brother's, I can still do that at the weekend. I can still work on my business, that's what is so important. And that's what I find the benefits, of running your own business, especially from home and through the internet. It's like Sandra said, you just put your laptop in your handbag, and off you go. You can take it anywhere you want. And that's the nice part, because travel is very important to me. I love traveling. I love going to new places. And, I think that's going to be fantastic for the future for ourselves. We can go where we want to go. Once we've built this business, we can do it wherever we like. So
you made a great point there, and it was that you made a lot of great points, but the one that really stands out for me is that an online business or a digital entrepreneurship business or being an online entrepreneur allows you the ability to set your own priorities. Someone else isn't setting your priorities. Someone isn't saying you got to be here by 8. You have, like Jay says, you have to ask for vacation. You have to ask to do this. Oh, I have to ask to travel. You have the ability to set your own priorities if you have your own business, whether it's taking care of family like you're doing, seeing your family, spending more time with your kids, traveling, doing whatever you want, but those are your priorities, and this allows you to set those priorities, and then you could work your business around those priorities, because you could be, you might have to, take care of your dad from 8 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon, where if you had a regular, job, you couldn't do that. So now, while you're taking care of him, you can wake up a little earlier, or you can work a little later. As long as you get your tasks done, and that, your tasks that you need to get done, your business is built around your priorities. Your priorities aren't built around your business, which is what happens when you have a job. Your priorities are built around your job. Like, I can't hang out with my friends because I have to go to work, and they're all going to the beach. My priority would be going to the beach, not going to work, but I can't do that. Yeah. As an online entrepreneur, I can do that. I can say, you know what, we're going to go to the beach from 2 to 6, depending on how many beers I have. Sometimes I work better, but I can work after, or I can get up a little earlier and just get whatever my tasks are for that day done under my control. And like you said, I'm responsible to no one but myself, which for you is a great thing. You like to be challenged and you like that, but a lot of people don't like to be responsible for themselves. This might not be for them, because you can't just sit on your laurels and be like, someone else will do it, because they won't. It'll never get done. So that's a great point. And Jill, I remember what I was going to say to you while you were speaking. It was, you asked the question, what made you so different from other coaches? Why should you take your business online? And the reason is you're the difference. That's your unique selling proposition. You are your USP. So not every coach is the same. Some people resonate with you, and that's why you're always busy, except on Wednesdays when you take the day off.
Yeah, and it's coming up again tomorrow.
Yep.
I think you touched on a really good point there, Yuli, about how people being unique, and we're talking about Jill being unique there. I think the joy of being on the internet and having your business on the internet is you have access to people all around the world, and you can be who you want to be. You can be unique, and there will be people just like you who will be attracted to you for that reason, because you are unique and you might be like them. And Stuart always talks about attraction marketing, and the internet is the perfect place for it.
Yeah, you have a huge audience for that. And when you're working all the time, it's hard to be your unique self when you're doing something you don't want to do. If you're working for, I work online part-time, I work full-time, online. So I guess I work full-time both ways. But it's easier for me to be uniquely me when I'm happy and doing what I want to do, as opposed to going to a job that I don't like. I do like my job, but if I had to go to a job I didn't like, it's hard to be you. It's hard to be unique, because you're always in that mindset that I don't want to be here, and I'd rather be somewhere else. So you can't be yourself all the time. So you're right. When you're online, you have that opportunity to attract people that you want to hang out with. Like Steve always says, people that you want to sit down and have a drink with at a pub. Those are the people you want to attract to you. Those are the people you want to work with. And we have the luxury of picking and choosing who we decide we want to work with. We don't have to work with everybody if we don't want to. If I'm sitting at a job, a customer comes in, I really have no choice. I kind of have to do it. But in this world, I could say, no, I'm not going to work with you if you're just going to sit on your butt and do nothing, because you're going to make me look dumb because it doesn't work. And then you're going to tell your friends that it doesn't work, only because you didn't work. So we do have that ability to attract who we want and work with whoever we want.
And those are the people who subscribe to your email list and say, Stuart owes me money at pleasegivememoneyback.com.
Right, yeah. Yeah, right. Those people are designed to just mess with you for the rest of their life. I mean, that's their thing.
Because they failed because they didn't work hard enough, or they didn't make the right decisions, or the right sacrifices.
Or they quit. It's hard to feel like, I don't know if I talked about this last week or not, but nobody fails until they quit. Failure is just a part of the journey. And a lot of people just quit and say, nah, it didn't work. I can't do that. I can't spend 3 hours a day doing this. But if anybody's out there watching and they're just starting to get into the online business, or they're thinking about getting into the online business, I'm just going to nip it in the bud. It does take work. It's not just something that just happens overnight. You just, like everybody here says, they've taken the time and invested the time and the funds to get the education they need to do what they need to do. So that's where you are. You can't just expect it to happen.
That's a very valid point, Yuli.
I'm sorry, Sandra?
I said that's a very valid point. I think the problem with the online digital world, owning a business online, for a lot of people, if you go back, back to 2007, 2005, with the internet, a lot of online businesses, you didn't see a lot of companies like Walmart, David Jones, Myer. You didn't see a lot of those online at the time. They were still more your walk in the door type businesses. Online type businesses that you've seen, most of them were pretty dodgy. And the guys who were selling their businesses to others had absolutely no idea on how to run a business, and they were selling it on, false claims. So a lot of people think that, starting an online business is as easy as, I might start an online business tomorrow. So they come up with a name, they buy the .com, then they jump on Facebook and they go, hey guys, I've got an online business, here's my fan page, make it for me please. And it's like, that is not an online business. That is a hobby. Now, you've got to get this clear in your head. That is a hobby. That's not a business. An online business is exactly the same as a brick and mortar business. If you're out in the real world and you're working a job and you are looking at purchasing a business, whether it be, say you're looking at purchasing a lawn mowing business, so you can be in the car driving around mowing people's lawns and be leaving home at whatever time you want because you think it's more flexible than the job that you have. When you purchase that franchise, there is still going to be a level of investment that you have to do in yourself to, 1, learn how to run a business, 2, hire an accountant to sit down and help you draw up your cash flow business plan chart. 3, you then need a business lawyer who can sit down and go over business law and make sure that you've paid your trademark fees, you've registered your business name, and that you're abiding by the law. And you're still going to have to need to draw up your business plan. And then you're going to need to know how to do your books for taxation purposes. So this digital life, having the benefit of a digital life, it does come with responsibilities of to yourself of learning the laws and the business plans and the proper business structure that you're going to need to run the business. And once you learn that, and it's so easy to get that information here. If you get into a good company, like if you get involved with a great educational institution like the Six Figure Mentors, for instance, like we're all members of the Six Figure Mentors, they help teach you those processes that you need. They help teach you to understand having a blueprint. They help you with mindset. They help you understand business plan. They help you understand taking time off from the business and spending time with your family and making that important. They help you with the right mindset that business people need to, successful business people have who run their business. So before you know it, you're actually learning a lot of the skills that you would actually pay $8,000 to $9,000 to $10,000 at a local community college to learn, called a business diploma. And I mean, that's what you have to understand. There is an online hobby, and then there's an online business. And an online business, you're still going to need your blueprint, your business plan. You want to look for a good quality business community like the Six Figure Mentors, where you structure that we have. And once you do that, you'll be, as James said, happier than you ever thought you possibly could be.
I don't
Because if you try and
sorry, I was going to say, I don't think people take it serious because it's online. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that people have is, like someone said to me the other day, I was checking into a hotel and I says, oh, keep that receipt, claim back the tax on it. And they were like, what? And I was like, yeah, you know, you've got an online business. It's still a business, so you can still put that against your tax. And they were like, oh, it's good that you're treating it like that. I was like, well, how else would I treat it? It's a proper business.
Right. Yeah, when you go away to shows or live events, I mean, that's education. That's that's a business expense. And you know, great, you're going to these cool places and you're getting to do cool things, but that is a business expense, and that is another benefit of it. And you know, I'm not a lawyer or an accountant or anything like that, but if I were to say one of the biggest benefits, other than just the emotional rush and being happy all the time and doing what you want to do, is that you do get those benefits as well. That you get to write off hotel stays, and you get to write off trips, and you get to write off these live events. Even though you're in a cool spot and you do get some time to spend with your family and friends at the pool or do whatever you want, that's a business write-off. It is here in the U.S. You know, there's obviously certain parameters and restrictions, but that's a business write-off. Every time you buy office equipment, that's a business write-off. You know, there's certain things that you can do as a business owner that you can't do. And, you know, most governments like that, and they offer those benefits to business owners because they want more business owners, because that's what creates jobs and that's what drives the economy. So everybody on this panel, as a business owner, even though we might just be working by ourselves for now, eventually we will have an assistant. We will be hiring people to do outsourcing for us. We drive the economy. So that governments look favorably on that, so they give you benefits to be able to grow your business, and that's how you benefit economically as well.
You mentioned something about education. You and Sandra was touching on it about people investing time, money, and all the rest of it. If you were to do a business and marketing degree in the UK at university, it would take you 3 years and about 30,000 to learn. And Stuart says that the DEA, no university in the world can provide the education that they're providing. And if you think you're going to come into this business and learn it in a week, a month, or whatever, just think about how long it takes to teach someone at college or university, and that should be enough for you. You're really naive if you come into this business thinking you're going to just learn any new skill just like that, because it's never going to happen. Every day you're learning, and anyone who's got their own business, and all the most successful people, if you study them, they all say that every single day they're learning and they're constantly bettering themselves all the time. And it doesn't happen overnight because they are so busy in the weekday, weeknights, weekends. They go on holiday and they try and program in their work somehow, even though their wife doesn't know, or their husband, whatever it might be. And it takes time and hard work, and that's my biggest point from this.
Yeah, it all takes time. Like you said, even if when you go to university or college, you're learning a bunch of stuff that you'll never use, that you never need. But you know, they need to fill the time with something. When you're educating yourself and you're learning how to do things like through the Digital Experts Academy, you find the things that you want to learn. You focus on that. You learn at your own pace, on your own schedule, and then you learn it and implement. Because learning by itself just is powerless. You know, education and knowledge is powerless unless you implement it, and that's another driving force in. Last night I was watching a video of the No Excuses Summit in Vegas from last weekend, and it was what he said was that learning without implementation is like intellectual masturbation. It's just all you do is learn, but you never implement. You're not doing much for yourself. It's the implementation that has the power. So, in a lot of places in college they just teach you, but they don't teach you how to apply it. So you go into the real world, into the business world, with all this knowledge, but no idea how to implement it. Here, you know, in a good program, online, with a business, they teach you how to implement it as well.
See, I never knew
Yeah.
that if you go into a supermarket and there's 2 packets of crisps and one says 20% more in this packet, but they're the same price, and you think, why are they the same price, but one's got 20% more? You buy the one that's 20% more because you think, I'm getting an amazing deal for the same price as that one, they're lucky. And the only reason they put it there is as a dummy. So you do learn stuff that you think, that is completely irrelevant, but it's actually really good, because if you were promoting a product online, you'd put a really shitty looking product there and then put one that looks amazing, but put them at the same
it just has to be
price.
better looking than the other one.
Exactly. And my brother said to me the other
Value.
day, he said, you're full of useless information. I says, it might not be you, but I bet you next time you buy a packet of crisps and it's like that, you will think again.
Yeah.
That's
It's all about giving people options. Sandy, you brought up a good point while you were speaking about, and so did James did a second ago, mindset. And if I had to give another extraordinary benefit that I've received while even going through my home business journey or my online business journey or my digital entrepreneur journey, is the incredible amount of self-development and just mindset, education, and personal growth that I've done personally. Like when I first started, I getting out of the military, I just went right to work and I just started working. I had my own business at that time. I had my own construction company or carpentry business, and it wasn't the same because every day I'd still have to get up. I pretty much bought myself a job. I had a job. I just worked for myself, but it was a job. So I didn't get a whole lot of time to do that implementation and that mindset development. Once I started getting into the investment world and into the online business world, the mindset coaching and the mindset information and education that you receive from, and I think that's pretty generic throughout the whole online world, because it does take a paradigm shift, a mindset shift, as Jill could easily explain, on how you have to develop yourself in order to be that person you want to become, in order to be that business owner and that successful business owner. So I've been able to reinvent myself basically as far as mind shift goes and mindset goes in order to be able to be that person that I need to be in order to grow my business. So there's a whole lot of that, and I never did that prior to starting on this educational journey. I never had that opportunity to, now I read books about it, I listen to audios about it, I watch videos about it, I go to sleep watching them, and I wake up watching them. I mean, there's always something there that I'd rather do. Like if I'm going to spend 10 minutes watching a TV show, I'd rather spend 10 minutes watching Brian Tracy or anybody else out there who's there about self-development, because I think that's how you become who you need to be, and that's a huge benefit in this industry. Any thoughts on that, Jill? Or Jay, I'm sorry?
That's how you become successful, by being busy and committing to learning.
Yeah,
and applying.
and modeling what other successful people are doing. I mean, you're not going to get ahead in this world if you're, surround yourself with a group of people who don't want to do anything and are always being negative towards you and always, blocking your growth. You want to be surrounding yourself with people that are gonna, and even if it's virtually through audios and books and stuff like that, you have to surround yourself with that personality and that perspective in life in order to move forward.
Yeah, you mentioned growth there, and Cherie came out with a great thing the other day where he talked about a challenge. He doesn't see it as a challenge anymore. He sees it as an opportunity for growth. And I loved that. I thought that was amazing. So he doesn't get scared of challenges. He just thinks, I can grow from this. And one thing this has definitely taught me is how much you can grow as a person. Doing all this, learning all these new things, it is amazing. And that's probably why I'm so happy.
Yeah. I think that's what brings happiness is I find it really exciting, the fact that I'm growing and I'm learning all these new things, and I'm the same as you, Yuli. I go to sleep every night to something positive. It's either listening to Tony Robbins or recently it's been Bob Proctor, and I just love it. I'm just excited about the person I'm going to be, if you know what I mean, because I'm just changing, and I'm more observant of people's needs. which, you know, is a good thing when you're looking after your father, really. But it does make me a bit more understanding. This is what it's done for me, to make me a little bit more understanding of timescales. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm doing something. I would be quite grumpy if I was doing something normally, and some people keep interrupting me. But I'm just not anymore. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if someone's talking to me. No, it doesn't matter. But normally I would say, I'm in the middle of something. Well, I just don't do that anymore. And that part I do like about myself. So, you know, I just like the way that, you know, I've grown as a person. And I can't, you know, I'm excited for the future to how I'm going to be, and all the knowledge that we see and hear every day. That's the nice part about it. It's every day. We see something. Someone's advertising. Oh, you've got to get this book. It's this and it's that, and you go online and you read about. Oh God, I've got to have that. I have learned. Sorry.
I said I can imagine you probably surprise yourself, Leslie, at what you actually know already. And you never knew before. You're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I know.
That's important. I mean, that's a big issue. That's a big important part of this too. Like you guys have been saying, like Jill had mentioned that Sandra helps her out a lot, and Leslie's mentioning how James helps a lot, and then we're all in the same community, and you know, it's almost like everybody knows something that somebody else wants to know. So we brought this up a lot in our value hangout, where we're talking about a lot of people don't believe that they have a lot of value to offer. 2 months ago, Leslie, did you think you could write a blog post about doing something online, or?
No.
But now you feel confident that there's something.
What's a blog I'd be saying? Exactly.
Yeah. Now you feel confident that there's some value you can add, even in the online world, even though you're fairly new, like the rest of us. I mean, you can add that. You can add that value because now you have a little bit more confidence, and you know that people out there do want to hear what you have to say. There are people that don't know what you know, and that's the people you'll be talking to. So I think that's great. And then the fact that Jay's, how long have you been online, Jay?
4 months, nearly. 4 months, yeah, 4 months.
4 months, and he's already teaching other people how to do things. So, you know, it might take people a little longer to get there from where they are. Jay's just a bright kid, and he works his butt off, and he works hard.
I tell you what we did, Julie, actually. With Leslie and Jade, we actually joined about the same time, so we just worked together. And any problems they were having, I try and help them, and they might say, oh, have you seen this? And we just bounced off each other. So for anyone who's joining this, the best advice I give is to find someone who's joined up at the same time, find out what they know, bring it together, work together, find other people who know more stuff, bring them in, and you all just build this knowledge together and you grow as a collective. And that's the way we did it, wasn't it, Leslie? We used to chat all the time.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
call
magic
that
of
masterminding.
Yeah, I was just saying that, the magic of masterminding. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, Sandra, when I first started.
Right. Yeah, but now look at it. Now it's almost like it's inbred in you. Now it's part of your everyday thing. Like even on Facebook, masterminding is easy. You know, there's so many different groups that you just bounce ideas off each other, mastermind groups, and you know, in our back office, in the Six Figure Mentors, and hangouts like this, and you know, you're all part of different hangouts and different communities within the community that bounce ideas off each other, and that's growth. That's how first of all that builds a culture, which gives your team, the people that you're growing your business with or helping you grow your business, it helps them stick around longer because there's a culture there. There's this commitment to each other, and somebody doesn't want to bail on that. Like, you know, Jay would have a hard time quitting, and Leslie would have a hard time quitting, and I would have a hard time quitting if we were in this group and I felt as though if I quit, I'm letting all these people down because I'm not adding to their commitment. So that's that culture, that's that community binding that keeps this industry moving forward. So, I mean, I think that's another huge aspect of online, and a huge benefit is the people that you surround yourself with, your community, your tribe, your whatever you want to call them, the people you surround yourself with are going to get you to that next level. And it's just incredible, just a good feeling to have that. And that's also about, you know, putting yourself in that right community. There's a lot of communities out there that are out for themselves, and they're, you know, every single one of us, in essence, are each other's competition. But we don't see it that way. You know, we don't compete against each other. We do our own thing, and we let everybody else do their own thing. But a lot of companies out there, a lot of communities, just focus on themselves. I think there's a bigger picture when it comes to our community, where we find it beneficial to help only because we learn more, and then I think that promotes us and our business. So I like that aspect.
You never know one thing is, you never know when someone else is when you're gonna need someone else, and it's all right to share it and share it and share it and think, oh, I'm not gonna give them, but one day you might be stuck on something and someone else actually knows the answer, but you've already pissed them off or whatever, or fod them to the side because you thought, oh, they don't know as much as me, I'm going in a different direction, whereas they actually know the answer, but because you've been an arsehole to them or whatever, you cast them aside, you're not going to get the answer and you're going to get frustrated, whereas if you just worked with them and treated them on the same level as you can always learn something off somebody.
Yeah, there's plenty to go around, you know. Plenty.
Well, that's a good point, yeah, because we're all unique individuals. We've all had different life experiences. We've all had different types of jobs, so we all have many skill sets. So, you know, why would any of you think that you don't have anything to learn off someone else? I mean, that's a really bad mindset that society teaches people and puts people in, and I don't like it, and I do teach people against that mindset. Never allow yourself to fall foul of believing that everybody else knows as much as you or less than you, so you don't need to ask them. You know, they can't help you, and just be an asshole to them. I don't like that mindset. I like people to get into the mindset of knowing that every single one of you on this planet is a unique human being. You all have your own personal life experience. You all have your own perception of that experience. You all have your own opinion of that experience. And you all have different skill sets because you've all grown up and done different things in your life and worked in different jobs and had different experiences. So you all have different skill sets that you can share with each other. And that's the wonderful thing about a digital entrepreneur lifestyle. Is when you come together in this platform, you start to meet other people from all over the globe with a multitude of different skill sets from a variable of life experiences. And, you know, I mean, like in the real world, I would never have met somebody like James, who, you know, was from the military, because, you know, my back, I mean, that would have been a fluke for me. And if I'd met somebody like Jay there, it would have been because I was, you know, driving a taxi and I was picking him up from the Green Slopes, you know, military hospital, because he was home on, you know, stress leave or something, or, you know, had his leg blown off from being overseas. So I'm picking them up when they're broken and shattered from the hospital.
Right.
But, you know, here in this instance, I get to meet you, Yuli. You're a defence force. Jill's a mindset coach. Jay, you know, he's got, you know, healthy young bloke, you know, great intelligence, thrives on you know, work commitment to himself, you know, and yet we're all unique. We all have skills, and it's just that's the brilliant thing about coming into the digital world and being serious about, you know, being a digital entrepreneur. You know, you do get to mastermind with so many other people. You can be unique, and you can be your authentic self, and you have to be your authentic self because you're putting it there on the internet. And the funny thing is if you're not your authentic self when you're putting it up there and out there on the internet, one day you're going to sit down and you're going to be slapping yourself in the face from the computer. And you're going to be sitting there going, is that really me?
Yeah.
I feel a bit silly.
Yeah.
You know, so it's sort of like having a replay of your work day. That's the great thing about this business. You can, you know, before you go to bed, you can replay your day.
Yeah, people will see right through you. If you're not being your authentic self, you're not being your unique self, people will see right through you. And the internet is a global platform. Not gonna, you know, someone that you really know is going to find you, and if they saw me in a suit and tie and I was sitting up on a big chair and they're going to be like, who the hell's that guy? You know, they're going to think that, oh, this is some sort of show. He's putting on a show. This isn't really him. I can't do this because I have to be somebody else to do it. The best part about this is that because you're unique, you have a better chance of succeeding than everybody else. You know, every Walmart's the same. I can walk into any Walmart and know exactly where the soup is. You know, everything is the same. Here in this world, in this virtual digital world, like you said, you're completely unique. There isn't another me out there. So maybe a lot of people don't like that, but maybe some do. I'm going for the people that do. I don't care about the people that don't. I mean, I care about them, but that's not who I'm going after. So if I'm somebody else and I'm suited up and dressed up and I'm sitting there all stiff and bored and, you know, teaching somebody how to do something, I'm going to attract people that I don't know how to hang out with. I'm going to attract people that I don't know how to talk to. I'm going to attract people that I don't know how to work with. I'm going to attract people that I don't want to work with because they're stuffy, you know, suited up, which is fine. That's just not me. So like you said, it's a completely unique experience. You can reinvent yourself. If you're not happy with who you are, and you want to grow and change, you can do that too. But just be progressive about it. Don't do it overnight. Don't show up tomorrow as, you know, I don't want to show up tomorrow as Julie, a girl.
Yeah, that would be really strange.
Yeah, I'll wear my dress next Hangout. I'll wear my dress.
Julie in drag.
Yeah, you don't want to see that. I guarantee it.
No.
I'll keep it from the collar up. So, Joe, what are you thinking of? I know we're running out of time here. We're at the hour, and but I kind of want to touch base with you a little bit. This is, you know, you've kind of been sitting there just thinking up stuff.
Yeah, well, I'm listening because I think you learn so much when you listen, and it's absolutely brilliant because it's just like coming on and talking to your family. This is really because, you know, we have a week's whatever has been going on, and we learn new things, and we bring new things to the table. Each time we meet, we talk about a different subject, but we've all got a lot to give on that subject because, as Sandra just said, we've got these unique skills, we've got these life skills, and we all bring something new. But if anybody's listening and they're brand new, I will say you've got to be willing to be more vulnerable and open because you're going to grow into the person that you really feel comfortable in your skin to portray who you are. Regardless of your product, it's all about you first. The transparency of being online is about, we don't know what you know. We don't care about that. We want to know, how much do you care? How much value are you going to give us? You know, what are you offering that's different to someone else? What makes you special? What is unique about you? So therefore, you've got to come out with your little quirks, your laughs, your things that you actually do. People can see the vulnerable side of you. They see the warm side of you, but they also see the person that's compassionate, and it's got empathy in your journey, and that can really call you into your greatness. So if anybody is out there thinking, well, I can just do that and I can just hop into, you know, that role, that's easy, I've got to tell you, it isn't easy. It isn't easy because you're going to go through this metamorphosis, and you are going to change and you are going to evolve. But by God, when you come out the other side and you're like Jay, I used to have to put shades on because he was smiling every damn time he came on, and I used to say, just don't stop that, because you do know what, whatever you're on, I want some of it. I don't care what you do. And that's how it's like, because people want to know what fires you up. You know, he sits there and he's got no emotion, no energy for what he's doing whatsoever. Yeah, right. It's just glowing out of him, just glowing out of him. And that's how you become. When you're that fired up about something, what you do, and that is exactly what you do for a living, how bad this experience. And it is out there, but you got to want it. You got to know your reason why that you're going to do it, and that why, as Sandra said, and everybody will say in here to you, that's got to be the strongest motivation when it gets down and dirty and you're struggling. That why has got to be big.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to keep you dry in the rainstorm. That's for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, that was perfect. We're going to go through and do a quick wrap up and let everybody do their last words and maybe some contact information on how someone can get a hold of you. So the final question that we'll do on the wrap up is, if you had to give anybody who's thinking about it or has just started working online or starting their journey in digital entrepreneurship, what would that little bit of advice be? What would that one thing that would make the difference to them? Either to just jump in and start, or to make sure that then once they're in, to keep that track rolling. And I will start with Miss Leslie.
Well, what I'd suggest is don't ever quit. That's what I would say. If people are looking at this now, you've got to understand this is difficult. It's hard work, but it is so worth it. Even though I've only been around this for about 4 months, it is really worth it. And it's just doing a little bit at a time every single day. Just taking the baby steps, as they say. Yeah, and if you want to contact us, we are at leslieandjadelawler.com. We're also on Facebook. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and LinkedIn, to name but a few. So, yeah, it's Leslie and Jade Digital Entrepreneurs. And if you'd like to get in touch or have a chat about anything, then, you know, the door's always open.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Sandra, if you had to give one little bit of advice to somebody who's just starting or getting ready to, has just started or is moving forward in their journey, what would that be?
If I had to give you one little bit of advice and you've just started or you're just starting to move forward in your journey, it would be know your why, know what you want, get ready to strap yourself in, and be prepared to look at yourself in the mirror and be 100% honest with who you are. Because before you'll take action, before you'll try, before you'll do anything, the first thing you need to do is sit down and look at yourself in a mirror and go, hi, how are you? Introduce yourself to yourself and have that chat. And be 100% honest with yourself and transparent, because there's no point in starting to invest in something if all you want is a hobby. If you're happy with your job and you're happy with your life the way it is, stick with it. Don't just do this because it looks glitzy, glamoury, and you think you're going to make millions. Do not do that. That is the wrong mindset, and you will crumble straight away. Have a good why, know what you want, be prepared to work, and be somebody who is quite happy to get to know who they are and take action. And I'm Sandra Lemming. You can find me at onestopalloshop.com. Look for me on Facebook, Google my name, and you'll find me. Ask me questions. I'm happy to help.
That's awesome. Well, we're done. Jill, what are your thoughts here? Last wrap up here, and how?
So you know, I was somebody that came into this world. I had no idea what anything to do with a computer was. I had no idea what the language was. Landing pages, emails, what, who, where? But it didn't matter because I wanted to know. I was hungry for the knowledge, and I guess I came in at kind of the right time. As well for me, because my life had turned and I was being able, you know, I was able to put more time into it. And for me, like Jay actually said, you know, I've used it as an investment in me for my education, for my future. And it's been the best education I've ever had, and I know where it's going to take me. So come into it with an open mind. Don't think that you're going to be successful in a minute. Jay will tell you that. Jay will tell you you're banging your head against the wall. There are certain things that you've just got to learn. You can't put your own thoughts and things into it. You have to learn it. You have to really be as open, as vulnerable as possible. This will just take that outer layer off you, and it will rebuild you inside out. And if you want to do that, then come and join us. If you don't want to do that, stop and think why you're perhaps approaching this. But for me, I'm on jill-humphries.com. I'm across the board on social media. I've got my own YouTube channel. Come and say hi, come and say hello. I've got regular videos going out there, and I do a mindset library when you're building an online business. So thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jill. James, what are your thoughts if you had to say one thing to somebody that's just starting up, just getting going, getting ready to build their lifestyle, or someone that just started? What would be your number one advice? Your number one, your big secret.
I decided to stand up just like you, because I like to stand up and use my hands.
Yeah, stand up, use your hands.
I love my hands. It makes me wide open. So the one thing that I want you to think about, if you look across this panel and what we've been talking about today, about how happy people are, doing what they're doing. I mean, you see the smile on my face. Everybody on this panel's had good fun. We've smiled. We've told you how amazing we all feel, how we've rebuilt our character. We love to learn things. We love our lives. Basically, some people are still working jobs, but they're still running a business, and they can't wait to get home and do it. This is not for everybody. I mean, if you're sat in your job and you're thinking, you know, I love my job, I'm really happy, then it's not for you, that's fine. But if you're sat in your job and you're weighing up the positives and the negatives, and the negatives are outweighing the positives, then it's about time you started looking at your life, because the only person that's in control of your happiness is you. No one is going to come along with a magic wand and say, woo, let's get happy, everybody be happy, you know. It's not going to happen. So you need to get off your arse if it's not happening for you and start doing something about it. And it might be this opportunity, it might not, but just do something. Just don't sit and settle for second best, because you'll only go through life and you'll have regret after regret, like my family have, and they moan about how they haven't done this and they haven't done that, and they wish they'd done this and they wish they'd done that. Don't let that be you. And that is my advice.
That's great. How do people get in touch with you, Jay?
We're available at www.chrisandjay.com. We're also available at Chris and Jay Digital Marketers on Facebook, and you can find us on Twitter at Chris and Jay SFM, and you can find us on Pinterest, G+, all those sort of pages.
Awesome. Well, great. That was perfect. So, obviously, if you're watching this or you've been watching this, there's some process going on in your head saying that maybe this is for me, maybe this isn't for me, maybe you've made a decision to jump in at it, and now you're kind of stuck in limbo and you're just stuck there and you don't know what to do. My big tip, my one recommendation is, if you are in this, you know, obviously everything everybody said is dead on. If I had to add anything to it, it would be, if you're in this business already or you're just getting ready to get started, just anybody that's giving you grief about it, anybody that's up here and giving you stuff about, well, this doesn't work, that's a scam, it's a pyramid scheme, it doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, just eliminate them. You don't have to eliminate them out of your life, just stop talking to them about it. They're not the people to talk to that about. Find people that are doing it, find people that have some education, surround yourself with that group of people. Read their books. You know, not everybody's trying to scam you. Read their books, watch their videos, get in touch with one of us, get in touch with anybody in your upline who, if you think somebody's doesn't have to be your next sponsor up, get involved with one of the leaders. Just get in touch with somebody, talk to somebody, get your energy back up, get rid of the negativity, and just, if you want to do this, if you want to change your life, this is the way to do it. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it. This is one of the best ways to do it. Forget about the fancy cars, forget about the big houses, like Sandra said, forget about being a millionaire. Focus on yourself. Focus on getting your mindset right, focus on getting your process right, build your system, and grow your business. So, and again, the benefits are, like we said, like Jay said, like everybody's smiling, laughing, having a good time. I go to work, I can't wait to get home from work to get to business, which is a different world altogether, and I enjoy it thoroughly. I get to meet awesome people. I'm surrounded by awesome people all the time. And not only is it here because of that, because I know I'm worthy of surrounding myself with awesome people. When I go to the bar, I only surround myself with awesome people. When I go out for a bike ride, I ride with awesome people. I know that I'm worthy of that now, so I only do that. I don't bother with the other group. So, and that's what all that self-development and self-growth is all about. So that's all I have for now. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on episode number 33. I hope you got some value from this. I appreciate everybody for being here. Jay, Sandra, Leslie, Jill, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week, same time, and we'll come up with something else to talk about. So, yeah. Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.